What did we learn from the Arizona State versus USC football game this last weekend that can help young quarterbacks and young athletes across the country? I'm about to tell you, and it's coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pawlawski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today I want to talk about the lessons that we learned from the USC versus Arizona State football game in the opening of the Pac-12 season. Obviously, USC is number one in the South preseason, rated going in by the media writers for the Pac-12 football. And Arizona State was a close number two. So it was a marquee matchup for the Pac-12 South in week one. There were a lot of lessons to take away from that game. And I'm going to show you, and especially as a young athlete, lessons that are really important for you to understand. But first, before we get started, if you haven't done it yet, if you're new to the channel, and if you love football content, X's and O's, instructional content, stuff about college football, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Get notified every time we have new content coming out that you're going to love. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to talk about the lessons we can learn from every game we watch, and leave me a comment down below. Love to hear your comments, love to hear your thoughts about the game. And finally, please share this video out. Teammates, family, friends, fans, anybody who loves the game of football or loves sports in particular. At EliteAthletesTV.com, we're trying to help as many young athletes as we can to improve their game. By sharing this out, we can help more young athletes. Now, let's talk about that Arizona State-USC football game. Obviously, it was played at the Coliseum in LA, SC, the home team. So you would expect going in with the number one ranking that USC would have the advantage in this game. There were fumbles, there were interceptions, there were turnovers, as you would expect from a first game in college football, right? The Pac-12 is the last conference to the table in terms of starting their football season. And so you expected sloppy play. And rather than playing against teams that aren't maybe as talented or as good where you can make up for some of those mistakes, now you're playing against Pac-12 opponents. So every fumble, every turnover, every bad play is going to be exposed. So that's one of those things that you learn. But the other thing that you learn about this game in particular is there is a difference as an athlete between I think I can, I believe I can, and I'm convinced I can. Both of these teams came into the game with the two young marquee quarterbacks in the conference, I would say. Kedon Slovis, who last year, All-American freshman, came in substitute for Jayden Daniels, had a phenomenal season, impressed everybody around the country with his play, is the marquee young quarterback in the conference. But Jayden Daniels also has a claim to that position. He showed how incredibly talented he was as a dual threat quarterback, both a runner and a passer, had great skills, came into this season probably 15 pounds heavier, I would guess, at least. So he has a lot to prove as a young quarterback too. A lot of high hopes pinned on both of these quarterbacks. Now, that said, in the end of the game, Kedon Slovis, as a quarterback, didn't just think he could win, didn't believe he could win, but he was convinced he can win. That's what I want to talk about here today. The difference between belief and conviction. If you have a belief and you get opposing information, you can change that belief. But if you are absolutely convicted, you are convinced of something, then it's hard to change that belief. Kedon Slovis in this game was convicted. He truly believed that he was going to win regardless. USC was down for most of the game. They were down by 13 points with about 2.5 minutes left in this game. Yet USC and Kedon Slovis found a way to pull this game out. Meanwhile, Jayden Daniels, whose team was up for most of this game, I don't believe he and the Arizona State Sun Devils were convinced that they were going to win this game. And the reason I say that is because it showed up in plays on the field. And so now let's go to the film. I have game film from the game. I want to show you what I'm talking about in terms of the difference between belief and conviction. Then I want to show you how that plays into composure as a quarterback. Because on top of being convicted that he was going to win this game, Kedon Slovis was incredibly composed. Let's hit the film. So first off, like I said, this game was back and forth, sloppiness, not great plays. At this point, it's about 2:25, I think, left in the game. USC is driving, and they get a defensive player for Arizona State right here to jump off sides. As a quarterback, Slovis recognized this. He saw this jump. He knew that he had a free play. Sometimes as a quarterback, you see it and you may see the flag fly or you don't see the flag fly. But you have to understand and believe that you have that offsides. And so as a result, as a quarterback, when you see that you have offsides, that's the time that you want to take a shot, especially in this situation. 2:20 left to go, nothing to lose. You've got the penalty, so even if you throw the interception, you're still going to get this play back. So as a result, you'll see Kedon Slovis here. As he drops, he gets time to survey the field. So he drops, he gets time to survey the field. What's he looking at? He sees two safeties high, middle of the field's open, but this backer running through, okay? And so with his vertical routes, he's going to have a vertical route here and a vertical route coming here. You're going to have two guys stacked in that corner of the end zone. And so knowing that he has the offsides, having that composure, and as well having a nice dish in the pocket because they've got a six-man protection going on against a four-man rush, Slovis very smartly decides, I'm going to put this ball up. He knows this isn't a winner. Run it back real quick here. He was looking to that side, but he knows that's not a winner. See, look at his head here. Right now, he is looking to this side. He sees he's got two dudes against one dude. That is not a winner. Now, he has Drake London, who has been a big target for him in this game, sitting down underneath. He could throw that ball, but he realizes he has the free play. This is an open receiver. That's an easy completion on every down during the game. But because he has the free play, Slovis decides he's going to take a shot down the field. And so you have a deep go route and a follow route out of Brew McCoy. When Slovis hits his fifth step, comes back over to the left side of the field, and just lets it fly. He knows it's covered. He knows there are guys back there. But he said, I'm going to take a shot. Well, look at that. Good things happen when you're smart, you're composed, you make the play. Slovis knew what he had. His composure was there. He was convinced. So he threw that ball knowing that if he didn't get it, he was going to get one back. Very smart, very heady play by a young quarterback. So a heady play by a young quarterback. Now USC is down by 6, 27-21. They need some things to break their way. This is what I was talking about in terms of belief versus conviction. USC goes for the onside kick. As a result, they are going after this thing believing that they are going to get this football back. Now, onside kick, anything can happen. But they had the firm belief that they were going to get this ball, be able to put together another drive, and win this game. Let's take a look at the onside kick. Sometimes you need luck. So you line it up. You believe, you hope you're going to get this back. Right now, SC believes they're going to get this back, but you need some luck. You need a good bounce. You need something to happen for you. Well, ball happens to come through perfectly. Arizona State player gets a hand on it, and SC ends up with this football. Now they got a chance. So now SC's got to drive the length of the field. They just recovered an onside kick, and they have to make something happen. Well, they know they're going to get prevent coverage. They know that they're going to get guys off, and so they go with the running game. Now, this SC offensive line has to make something happen. And as you can see here, excellent positioning. You have 70 on the outside, double team on the inside, working up to the backer, guard cutting off with help here, and then the tackle getting to the next level. This is well blocked. This, I think, was a surprise for Arizona State, that SC would run the football at this point in the game. But then look at the receivers. Tyler Vaughn's on the outside working his block, getting the extra yards, and then fighting through tackles. That is belief that you're going to make something happen. That is conviction. Once again, SC comes back and works the run. They know that they've got Arizona State up front. They're winning. They believe. And now they've got this ball down in position where they can strike. So a couple plays before those two runs, SC actually converted on 4th down. And so SC's feeling it. They got momentum. They are convinced that they are going to win this football game. Kedon Slovis has a chance now. 2 big first downs on the run. He's in scoring position. There is not a single person watching this game that doesn't know that SC is going to run a vertical route. Now, here is where you see the intelligence in Kedon Slovis. The play before, when we saw the touchdown, he saw the coverage that he got from Arizona State. It was that high cover 2 Tampa or cover 2 trap Tampa with corners off. They're going to give up the underneath stuff, but they're not going to let you throw that deep ball, supposedly. That's the idea behind it. He knows that. He's got that locked in his memory bank. So now, when he's coming up with vertical routes, he has a good play called for that same look. The key as a quarterback here is maintaining your composure, understanding what you're seeing and understanding what you're reading. Let's take a look at the film. So as a quarterback, you come up, you see safety over the ball. Another man on the hash, corners off. So you know you're going to get some kind of high 4. The question is, what are the safeties going to do? In this case, I'll show you the route here before it evolves. As we pull out, what you're going to get from USC is you are going to get the vertical shot here. So he's running straight down the field vertical. You have deep digs on the outside by both receivers. The idea is if they split, you take that vertical shot. If they don't give you that vertical shot because you have a safety over the top, you have digs on the outside by both guys, find the open man. But as I run this back, watch what the safety does at the snap of the ball. This guy sprints out to almost bracket the route coming from this side. Watch Slovis's head as well. He sees this movement. As soon as he sees that safety leave, he realizes that he's got Drake London, his biggest receiver, who is an absolute stud, coming inside on that vertical route and maintains his composure. Slovis is convicted that he is going to win this game, so he is composed. He is ready to go. Watch his head. He drops, keys that safety. He sees that safety coming off the hash right now. He knows he's got that backside route. Puts it on him and sticks it. Throws an absolutely perfect ball. You can't throw that ball any better. Sometimes quarterbacks will think they can make that throw, but then under the pressure, the anxiety picks up and you pull the string. You're not as accurate as you want to be. Kedon Slovis believed he was going to make that throw. He was convinced he was going to make that throw. So for young athletes, young quarterbacks, the message here and the lesson here is do what you have to do in terms of practice, in terms of reps, whatever it takes to believe, to know, to be convinced that you can make the play when it comes down to your turn to make the play, because that's the difference in getting rid of that anxiety and getting rid of that nervousness and getting rid of that hesitation at the end of the game. Being convinced that you can make that throw and not letting anything else come into your mental picture. And as a result, your confidence is high, your performance is high, and you react like it's every other down. So the difference between belief and conviction. If Kedon Slovis just believed as it got further and further and further into the game, the opposing information that he was getting where his team was still down by 13 points could have potentially changed his mind. But he was convinced. He was convicted that he was going to win. And as a result, USC won that football game. If you like what I did here today, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, get notified every time we have new stuff. I'm going to be looking at least one Pac-12 game every single week during the fall. Give me a thumbs up if you like the review on USC football and Kedon Slovis, who is going to be an absolute star. And leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. One more thing, please share this video out. We're trying to help as many young athletes as we can. And the more you share this out, more lives we can affect in a positive way. I appreciate you watching. Just wanted to show you from the quarterback position the difference it can make to believe in your game. Improve your quarterback skills, improve your football skills, hopefully improve your understanding of the game and the mental training it takes to be a winner. Appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.